First of all, the uh, the estimates for growth for this year, I mean, for the outgoing fiscal year, they moderated. I mean, they are still, far below the targeted 3.6%. But uh, but they at even at 2.7%, they appear to be a bit, overestimated. And for next year, they have set a target of 4.2%. And but you see, unless they actually implement reforms, structural reforms, and change the uh, very basic foundations of the economy, I don't think 4.2% will be achievable uh, in next year. Uh, for example, if we have been trying to, on the one hand, we have been trying to stabilize the economy, which is important, and on the other, we want to increase the size of GDP at a modest rate, like 3 to 4%. And if you look at the numbers for the last 2 3 years, like from fiscal 23, we see that we have the economy contracted by 0.2% in then. And last year the growth rate was 2.5%. And this year, even if we accept that it is not exaggerated, 2.7% is very low growth for a country like Pakistan. Two basic issues. There are many, issues with the economy, but there are two major issues which are actually responsible for suppressing growth. For example, number one is that our tax ratio uh, to GDP is very low. Though the finance minister said that it has hit 5 years high, but he hasn't given the exact number. We will know it tomorrow during his budget speech. But I don't think it is more than, uh, uh, even if we add provincial taxation, which would be like 0.8% to 1% of the GDP. And if we also include the non-tax levy of PDL, Petroleum Development Levy, into, there's even then, I don't think it would be more than 12% of the GDP, which is still, is very low for a country with a population of 240 million people, and a lot of potential for, lot of potential and scope for growth in tax revenues through broadening of the base. So that is the one issue with the which is actually responsible for keeping our growth rates low. The second issue is that although we have built up our foreign exchange reserves over the last 1 year to like 12-13 billion dollars, but these are also very meager, and these are built on loans from friendly countries who like Saudi Arabia, China, and UAE, and as well as from IMF, the extended fund facility loan. Actually, if we look at our reserve position, our reserves are still are running in negative territory. Actually we have 12 billion, 13 billion in our in our state bank's accounts, but if we deduct if we deduct the safe deposits that have been kept, that are being kept, that have been lent us to by Saudi Arabia, UAE, and China, then these are into negative of. It means that uh, we we have kind of around $9 billion still in deficit. Deficit of nine. Once we pay back $9 billion, then our actual reserves, real reserves, will be zero. This is the second problem. And this problem is because of our failure to increase our exports. The finance minister although said that the exports have increased by 7%, but this increase is nothing. We need to grow our exports like 25 to 20 to 25% a year. Then we will be able to build up our reserves into the positive territory. And secondly, third issue with our growth boost is growth problem is that foreign direct investment is not coming to Pakistan. And I don't know what happens next year, but I don't see much foreign FDI. So unless we increase our tax revenues, unless we increase our exports, and unless we are able to attract sufficient FDI, which equal to 3 to 5% of our economy, we are stuck in the low growth mode till that time. I think the CPI inflation has declined because of 2-3 reasons. Number one is our dollar exchange rate has been stable for last 1.5 years. So the impact that the CPI inflation has come down to 4.7% because of 3 reasons. First is our exchange rate has been stable at around 280 for the last 1.5 years. Number one. Number two, the global commodity, especially global oil prices, have been down. They have been, continuously coming down and stabilized at a level where we can afford to buy these things without too much spending without draining our foreign exchange. The third reason is that the food supply chain has stabilized over the last 1 year. So these are the three reasons for the downward for the decline in the inflation. So as long as these three factors remain stable, if they do not change in the next 6 to 12 months, then I think we will have a low inflation, like 7 to 8%, maybe 9%, but it won't be more than that. Practically, speaking, there is only one obstacle. We don't have money for PSDP. So we have a condition to put the IMF has a condition that Pakistan should produce a primary budget surplus. So if we want to meet that condition, we will have to since we haven't been able to increase our tax resources, so we will have to cut down our expenditure. And it is always easier to cut down development expenditure. So that is the practical reason for the reduced PSDP spending. Then there are certain, of course, there are certain technical reasons as well. The program, the development programs, whether it is federal or whether it is provincial, the way it is developed, the way the schemes included in it are developed, questionable. For example, they usually, when you look at the PSDP or develop any annual development program of the provinces, they just mention that they are going to build a road. For example, they are going to build a road between Lahore and Gujranwala, and they will that road will cost like 50 billion rupees. And this is okay. This is a 3-year program, and we will in the first year we will allocate like 20 billion rupees year and 10 billion in the third year. So what happens that when the time comes, the project they start to develop that project after the beginning of the after allocation of funds in the budget and after the beginning of the new year. So that takes a lot of time. Like you have to make PC1, then you have to award contracts, and then you have to do a lot of things. So it goes like it takes like 6 to 9 months before you are actually able to start implement that project. So what happens that the 20 billion rupees that have been allocated in the first year, you are unable to spend that money. So we see that such road projects, they are actually, their cost increases. There are also technical issues, but at the moment there is only one issue, which is we don't have money for development. Well, first of all, okay, we have achieved fiscal stability, of course. Our fiscal deficit has come down, and I think it is, I expect it to be 5.5% of GDP this year, and this will be, much below the original target for this year, which is 6.8. So we have achieved, we have been able to reduce our fiscal deficit, and then we have been able to definitely, meet the primary surplus target of IMF. So these two developments have been, been helpful in fiscal consolidation and bring down the debt to GDP ratio from 68% to 65%. But it's fine. Other macroeconomic indicators are also good. Our inflation is down. Our current account is in surplus. Any indicator, any macroeconomic indicator, and we have done very well. And there is a sense of stability. There is a sense of achievement in the government circle. But my question is, we have achieved these. We have, been able to achieve these targets. That this is important. Without it, we cannot go. Move forward unless we maintain this stability. But this stability has come at a very high cost to the people. What is that cost? Our growth rate, overall growth rate has been very slow, less than 3%, just 2.5% or 2.7%. And this is very, very low growth rate. And as a result of this low growth, our economy is not creating jobs. Our economy, our government is not been able to invest in economic infrastructure development, which is important for future growth. And because of this, we do not have money for providing drinking water to large population. We do not have enough money to provide education to, state education to our children. So, so, so this stability is good, but it has come at a very high cost to the people. Now, you have achieved this stability in last 2 years, fine. But what next? What is your plan for the next year or for the next 5 years? Do you have a plan to, bring about the structural shift in the economy, which is important for sustainable growth? No, we don't see that plan anywhere. Do you have any plan to boost industrialization in this country? No, we don't have that anywhere. Do you have to attract foreign direct investment? No, we haven't. We are still banking on promises from the Gulf countries that they will. The promises that UAE will invest 10-15 billion dollars. Qatar will also invest 10-15 billion dollars. So is the case with Saudi Arabia, and still we haven't received even a few hundred million dollars from these countries. So unless we now it is time stability, and you cannot build upon this stability unless you make policies. You make policies to industrialize this country, foreign investment here. You make policies to boost your exports. You make policies to boost your IT exports. There is a lot of scope here for IT exports. The finance minister was talking about freelancers earning $400 million this year, which is a good thing. But freelancers cannot be a vehicle for boosting your IT exports. If you want to boost your IT exports, you need companies, IT companies, operating at a large scale. And our policies are discouraging growth of IT companies. The biggest IT company in Pakistan has 4,000, 5,000 workers. I don't know. Not more than that. But look at India or other nations that have made it big in IT. Their companies employ like 40,000, 50,000 workers, IT workers. So we need to focus on this thing. Freelancers can, maybe next year they can increase their earnings to $1 billion, but that is nothing. And that also is because of Ukraine war. That is, a lot of work that used to go to Ukraine, that has come to Pakistan. That is, just by luck. First of all, on Roshan digital account, the Roshan digital account is like any Eurobond Pakistan has issued in the past. It's just that we have given the same attractive interest rates to overseas Pakistanis, to encourage them to put their money in Pakistani banks instead of in the banks of their resident, in the banks of the countries where they live. So, and I mean, Pakistan is offering, I mean, far interest rates far above the international interest rates. So this is a big attraction. And then, of course, I mean, many overseas Pakistanis find it easier to send their money to families through these Russian digital accounts, and or I mean invest in property here in Pakistan in major cities maybe. So that is like as long as we are offering them a good, reasonably decent, attractive interest rate, they will keep depositing their money in their Russian digital account. As far as the remittances are, I think that Pakistan has the potential of increasing its remittances to around 60-70 billion dollars a year, uh, provided the government takes steps to shut down this whole business of under invoicing by traders. So, I mean, there's still scope of increase in remittances, but the thing about remittances is that it can be, I mean, it can evaporate as easily they can, I mean, increase.